From Plymouth, Massachusetts, aboard the ship Mayflower II, a full-scale reproduction of the original Mayflower that sailed to America more than 4 centuries ago, is historian and storyteller Richard Pickering, who will tell us all about the dramatic moments during the ship's 1620 crossing that culminated in the first Thanksgiving celebration. Welcome, Richard. So why is Plymouth, Massachusetts America's hometown?
Well, Plymouth, Massachusetts is America's hometown because we're associated with the most beloved holiday in the nation. That 97% of Americans say this is the holiday that they celebrate. And we're also associated with the beginnings of America's freedom tradition because the Mayflower Compact was signed on the Mayflower on November 11, 1620. So I think America holds this town very close to its heart because of so many things that started here.
So why is Plymouth synonymous with Thanksgiving?
The 1621 harvest feast that happened just within a 3-minute walk from where I'm standing on Plymouth's waterfront became the basis of the holiday. That in New England, over the decades, there started a tradition of harvest feasting and families gathering together because they'd been working so hard for the rest of the year. But in 1840, a description of that 1621 feast was found, and the man who edited the book said this was America's first Thanksgiving. And from that moment, Plymouth, America's hometown, is associated with the holiday. And within 3 years, you see all of the governors of the states, when they declare the holiday, they call it that grand old pilgrim tradition.
That is very interesting. So there are a number of myths surrounding the historic event 402 years ago. Wow. Which myth do you have to bust the most?
The myths that get busted change over time, but the recent myth that really just makes me laugh is that for a while it was in vogue to say there was no turkey at the first Thanksgiving, when we know 4 hunters were sent out in the days prior to the feast. In 4 hours, they took enough fowl to feed the entire company for a week. And it makes me laugh. So imagine these pilgrims with their muskets out in the woods saying, no, we can't possibly take the turkey. That's the iconic bird of later. So it's just that the turkey wasn't the centerpiece. It was one among many different fowl. But sometimes people just need to shake things up a bit, and I'm afraid they start a new myth that just replaces an older one.
That's very interesting. I had no idea. That's really pretty funny. It does make a lot of sense, though, right? All right, so why is the first Thanksgiving at Plymouth considered the very first celebration of Thanksgiving in the country?
There are many traditions of Thanksgiving and many competitors, but Plymouth, since the 1840s and that rediscovery of the 1621 harvest feast description, that's when the holiday really attached itself to Plymouth, Massachusetts, and to the Wampanoag people. So I would say to all of your viewers, at some point in your life, you need to be here in the town of Plymouth for a Thanksgiving to really understand what this meal means to our nation and to take part in the events that go on. Plymouth has now more than 2-decade-old tradition of a Thanksgiving parade on the Saturday morning before the holiday. And if you can imagine the waterfront I'm standing on, it is packed with people. And the parade actually tells the story of our nation. So it honors the Wampanoag that have been here for 12,000 years. But in the course of one morning, you're getting 400 years of American history. It's an amazing thing.
That is very cool. Richard, so where can folks go if they want to learn some more information?
If you want to learn more about Plymouth, Massachusetts, go to seeplymouth, seeplymouth.com. You will get everything you need to know about visiting this area.
That is very cool. Richard, thank you very much for your time this morning. And guys, you can always check out this segment again by heading to our website.